Why do 2% of people succeed while 98% struggle? What makes the difference between those who reach their goals and those who fall short? It's not about luck, talent, or even resources. It's about mindset, discipline, and actions. The 2% who succeed don't wait for the perfect moment or rely on external factors. They operate with a sense of urgency. They stay focused, and they push forward even when times get tough. But the majority, they let distractions take over. They make excuses, and they give up too soon. In this video, we're going to break down the key differences between those who make it and those who don't. You'll discover why your mindset, habits, and actions can either make or break your success. Stay tuned to learn how you can become part of the 2% who thrive, no matter the challenges. You won't want to miss this. Number 1, sacrifice comfort now to achieve unstoppable success later. Success is never an accident. It's a choice to step away from comfort, a choice to push through difficulty, a choice to do what others refuse to do. That's why only a small percentage of people ever reach true success, because they are willing to give up what feels good now to build something greater later. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence. They don't fail because they don't have talent. They fail because they choose comfort over discipline. They choose distractions over focus. They choose entertainment over education. And when you make those choices every day, success doesn't slip away. It was never even an option to begin with. Think about it. Look at the people around you. Most of them are stuck in the same routines, repeating the same mistakes, making the same excuses. They want success, but they won't pay the price for it. They won't trade comfort for growth. They won't wake up earlier. They won't stay up later. They won't cut out the distractions. And that's why they stay exactly where they are, year after year. If you want to succeed, you need to break out of that cycle. And that starts with sacrifice. Sacrificing comfort is not easy, but it's necessary. It means working when you don't feel like it. It means saying no to things that waste your time. It means pushing through fatigue, through doubt, through frustration. It means choosing to be uncomfortable now so you can live the life you want later. Because here's the truth. Every successful person you admire made sacrifices. They gave up temporary pleasures so they could build something permanent. While others were sleeping, they were working. While others were scrolling on their phones, they were learning. While others were making excuses, they were making progress. And the reason they have success today is because they didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They simply decided that their future was worth more than their comfort. Ask yourself this. How much of your life is spent chasing comfort? How many hours do you waste on things that don't move you forward? How much energy do you give to distractions instead of goals? And then ask yourself, what would happen if you made a different choice? What would happen if you sacrificed comfort for discipline, for effort, for progress? People always ask, what's the secret to success? But they don't like the answer, because the answer is sacrifice. The answer is discipline. The answer is putting in the work, even when it's inconvenient. Success isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about making yourself ready for success by doing the things others won't. And here's something most people won't tell you. There is no balance in the beginning. If you want to win, if you want to separate yourself from the 98% who struggle, you have to go all in. You have to work harder than everyone else. You have to stay focused when others are distracted. You have to put yourself in a position where success is not just a possibility, but an inevitability. You don't build a great life by doing what feels good right now. You build a great life by doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's painful, even when no one is watching. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you get stronger. You build a mindset that can't be broken. You become the kind of person who succeeds no matter what. So here's the challenge. Look at your life right now. Be honest with yourself. Where are you choosing comfort over growth? What are you holding on to that's keeping you stuck? What habits do you need to break? What distractions do you need to remove? And once you answer that, don't just think about it, act on it. Make the decision to do something different. Success is always available, but it's only available to those who are willing to work for it, to those who are willing to sacrifice for it, to those who understand that comfort is the enemy of progress. This is your life. This is your opportunity. And every single day you have a choice. You can be like the majority, comfortable, entertained, distracted, struggling, or you can step up. You can push through the resistance. You can commit to your goals with everything you've got. And if you do that, if you give up comfort now, if you do the hard work today, you will achieve unstoppable success. Number 2, reject instant gratification and commit to long-term mastery. Success does not belong to those who chase quick rewards. It belongs to those who have the patience and discipline to commit to mastery. The world today is built around instant gratification, fast results, easy wins, shortcuts. People want success, but they don't want the work that comes with it. They want wealth, but they refuse to invest years in building a skill. They want the rewards without the effort, and that is why they fail. Most people don't struggle because they lack potential. They struggle because they lack patience. They jump from one thing to the next, always looking for a faster way, always looking for the secret formula, always looking for something that requires less effort. And every time they start something new, they expect results immediately. When success doesn't come fast enough, they quit and move on to the next thing, and the cycle repeats. If you keep chasing instant gratification, you will always be stuck. You will never build anything real. You will never develop the skills that separate the top 2% from the rest. The truth is, mastery takes time. It takes years of consistent effort. It takes learning, failing, adapting, and pushing through when others quit. Look around. How many people start something but never finish? How many people buy a course but never complete it? How many people go to the gym for a few weeks and then stop? How many people talk about their goals but never take real action? The reason is simple. They expect results too soon. They want to see success instantly. And when it doesn't happen, they give up. This is why the majority stay stuck, and why only a few ever rise to the top. Because the few understand something the rest don't. Mastery is a long-term game. It requires patience. It requires consistency. It requires doing the work every single day, even when there is no immediate reward. Think about the most successful people in the world. They weren't overnight successes. They spent years developing their craft. They put in thousands of hours. They didn't look for quick results. They focused on getting better every single day. They understood that real success isn't about how fast you get there. It's about who you become in the process. If you want to be in the top 2%, you need to stop expecting quick results. You need to reject the idea that success should come fast. You need to commit to the process, no matter how long it takes. Because every time you quit something too soon, you start over. And when you keep starting over, you never make real progress. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who jump from one thing to the next. They are the ones who stick with it. They are the ones who push through the boring days, the hard days, the frustrating days. They are the ones who keep learning, keep improving, and keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. You must train your mind to play the long game. You must develop the ability to delay gratification. You must be willing to work for years without expecting immediate rewards. Because the moment you stop looking for quick wins, the moment you start focusing on mastery, everything changes. You start making real progress. You start seeing real results. It won't be easy. There will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be moments when you feel like quitting. But those are the moments that define you. The way you respond when things get hard determines whether you succeed or stay stuck. Most people quit when things get tough. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to push through the struggle. But if you can keep going when it's difficult, if you can stay focused when others lose motivation, you will separate yourself from the 98% who never make it. Everything you want is on the other side of patience and discipline. Success is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about doing the right things consistently for a long period of time. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting that the results will come, because they will. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they all have one thing in common. They committed to mastery. They didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't give up when progress was slow. They made a decision to stick with it, no matter how long it took. And that decision is what changed their lives. Now it's your turn to make that decision. Are you going to be like the majority, always looking for quick results? Always quitting too soon? Always starting over? Or are you going to commit to mastery? Are you going to stay focused even when progress is slow? Are you going to do the work even when there is no immediate reward? The choice is yours. But understand this: success does not belong to those who chase instant gratification. It belongs to those who commit to the process. It belongs to those who show up every day. It belongs to those who do the work even when no one is watching. If you want to succeed, stop looking for shortcuts. Stop expecting results overnight. Stop jumping from one thing to the next. Pick something, commit to it, and stick with it until you master it. That is the difference between those who struggle and those who succeed. That is the difference between the 98% and the 2%. Number 3, make powerful decisions without fear or hesitation. Success belongs to those who make decisions with confidence. The world does not wait for those who hesitate. It moves forward, and only those who act with certainty shape their future. Too many people hold themselves back because they fear making the wrong choice. They analyze, overthink, and wait for the perfect moment. And while they wait, opportunities pass them by. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is no absolute certainty. The only way to move forward is to decide and take action. Every successful person has one thing in common. They make decisions quickly and stand by them. They don't wait for conditions to be ideal. They don't let fear dictate their actions. They trust themselves. They understand that hesitation is the enemy of progress. The people who hesitate get left behind. They miss chances. They live in regret. They wonder what could have been, and all of it happens because they were too afraid to commit. Fear of failure is what stops most people from making strong decisions. They worry about making a mistake, about choosing wrong, about facing consequences. But the biggest mistake is doing nothing. The biggest mistake is letting fear control your life. The truth is, every choice you make will teach you something. Every decision will move you forward. Some will bring success, and some will bring lessons. But both will help you grow. There is no growth in hesitation. There is no progress in fear. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you second guess, the more uncertain you become. And before you know it, you're stuck. You're watching others move ahead while you remain in the same place. That is the reality for those who hesitate. They never take the first step. They never build momentum. They never get anywhere because they never start. Indecision kills ambition. It keeps people trapped in mediocrity. It makes them weak, and the more you hesitate, the more powerless you feel. You start doubting yourself. You start believing you are not capable. You let opportunities slip away because you don't trust yourself enough to act. That is how people end up living small lives, not because they lack potential, but because they refuse to make bold choices. If you want to change your life, you must change the way you make decisions. You must stop overthinking. You must stop doubting yourself. You must learn to act with conviction. Strong people don't wait for permission. They don't ask the world if they are ready. They decide, and they go after what they want. And because they take action, they build confidence. They develop the ability to trust their instincts. They don't hesitate. They move forward while everyone else is stuck in fear. The longer you hesitate, the more power you give to fear. The more you wait, the harder it becomes to act. That is why hesitation must be eliminated immediately. The moment you feel doubt creeping in, take action. Do something. Make a move. Train yourself to act fast. Every time you act, you weaken fear's grip. Every time you hesitate, you make it stronger. People who succeed in life are not smarter than others. They are not more talented. They are not luckier. They simply decide faster. They understand that action creates results. They understand that waiting changes nothing. They understand that fear is a liar. They do not allow hesitation to steal their future. They move forward with courage, even when they are unsure. If you want to be one of the few who succeed, you must develop the ability to make decisions without fear. You must train yourself to act quickly and with purpose. You must stop overanalyzing. Stop looking for guarantees. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. You must decide and move forward. If you make a mistake, you adjust. If you fail, you learn. But you never hesitate. Because hesitation leads to nothing but regret. Look around. The people who achieve great things didn't get there by waiting. They didn't get there by hoping. They got there by acting. They made bold decisions. They took risks. They bet on themselves. And because of that, they won. Not because they were fearless, but because they refused to let fear stop them. The truth is, most people know what they need to do. They know what action they should take. But they let fear and hesitation control them. They wait for some sign, some assurance, some outside confirmation. And while they wait, life moves on without them. That is why they struggle. That is why they never reach their potential. If you want to change your life, you must make a decision right now. You must decide to stop hesitating. You must decide to trust yourself. You must decide to take action, even when you are uncertain. Because that is how success is built. It is built through action. It is built through movement. It is built by those who are willing to act while others wait. Your future is waiting for you. Your success is waiting for you. Your success is waiting for you. But you must decide to go after it. You must be willing to act without hesitation. You must be willing to trust yourself, even when fear tells you not to. That is how you become powerful. That is how you separate yourself from the masses. That is how you win. Number 4, dominate your mornings with an unbreakable success routine. Your mornings dictate the course of your entire day. If you start strong, you stay strong. If you begin with discipline, you carry that discipline through everything you do. But if you start sluggish, if you wake up without purpose, if you allow distractions to control the first few hours of your day, then you weaken yourself before you even begin. The way you start your morning determines how you handle challenges, how you execute your goals, and how much success you create. Most people wake up and immediately react to the world. They check their phone, they hit snooze, they scroll through distractions. They start their day weak, and they wonder why they never get ahead. They don't realize that their failure starts the moment they open their eyes. A strong morning routine is not just a habit, it is a foundation. It is what separates the disciplined from the undisciplined, the successful from the unsuccessful. If you want to dominate your day, if you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your mornings. This is not a suggestion. This is a requirement. Weak mornings create weak results. Strong mornings create unstoppable momentum. The first thing you must understand is that how you wake up matters. You cannot wake up in a state of weakness. You cannot roll out of bed and expect to be successful. You must wake up with purpose, with control, with a mindset of execution that starts by getting up early, before the world is awake, before the noise begins, before distractions can reach you. The world belongs to those who rise early and use that time to get ahead. Most people wake up and immediately lose. They hit snooze. They negotiate with themselves. They waste the most powerful hours of the day. Successful people do not do this. They wake up immediately. No debate, no hesitation. They rise with intention because they understand that every wasted minute is a lost opportunity. You cannot expect to be powerful if you cannot even control the first action of your day. Get up the moment your alarm goes off. Train yourself to be decisive from the first second of your day. Because if you start strong, you continue strong. Once you are up, the next step is control. Most people lose their morning because they let the outside world dictate their focus. They check their phone. They scroll through nonsense. They fill their mind with distractions before they have even set their own priorities. This is a fatal mistake. The first hour of your day should belong to you and you alone. No social media, no emails, no news, nothing that steals your focus before you have built it. You must protect your mental state. You must train yourself to control your attention from the moment you wake up. The world can wait. Your success cannot. The strongest morning routines are built on discipline and preparation. The night before, you should already know what you are going to do. You should not wake up and wonder. You should not wake up and guess. Your morning should be structured, clear, executed with precision. This means you prepare everything the night before. Your clothes, your tasks, your schedule, your priorities. When you wake up, you should already know exactly what needs to be done. Decision fatigue is the enemy of progress. Remove it by planning ahead. Movement must be a part of your morning. Physical training is not just for the body, it is for the mind. When you train your body, you train your discipline. You train your ability to push through resistance. The moment you wake up, get moving. Stretch, walk, exercise. Strengthen yourself physically so that you are unshakable mentally. Weak people avoid discomfort. Strong people embrace it. When you train in the morning, you condition yourself to attack challenges rather than avoid them. You set the tone for your entire day. Your mind must be sharpened before you enter the world. Reading, writing, reflection, learning. These are the weapons of the disciplined. Most people wake up and fill their mind with garbage, entertainment, distractions, meaningless information. They let the world control their thoughts instead of controlling their own. You must be different. The first input into your mind should be something that strengthens you. Read something that develops you. Write down your goals. Study something that makes you sharper. Train your mind the way you train your body. Build yourself before the world has a chance to break you down. Clarity is power. If you do not set your intentions for the day, then you will be pulled in 100 different directions. Before you step into the chaos of the world, take time to focus. What is the most important thing you need to accomplish today? What is your mission? What must be executed, no matter what? If you do not define your priorities, distractions will define them for you. Before you check a single message, before you respond to anything, decide what matters most. Write it down. Make it clear. Then protect it. The disciplined do not let their morning be controlled by chance. They control it with routine, with repetition, with intention. This is why successful people have rituals. They do not rely on motivation. They do not wake up and hope they feel like taking action. They have built habits that ensure they win every morning. You must do the same. Your routine must be consistent. It must be unbreakable. It must be something that you do every single day, without exception. Success is not built on what you do occasionally. It is built on what you do consistently. Weakness comes from inconsistency, from doing what is easy instead of what is necessary. If you allow yourself to break your routine, even once, you set a precedent for failure. If you skip one morning, it becomes easier to skip another. If you allow yourself to be weak today, you will be weaker tomorrow. This is why your morning routine must be non-negotiable. It must be executed, no matter how you feel, no matter what is happening, no matter what excuses arise. You are either training yourself to win or training yourself to lose. Every morning you make that decision. You either dominate your morning or your morning dominates you. The people who win in life are not the people who do more. They are the people who do what matters, and they do it before anyone else is even awake. They do it while the weak are still sleeping. They do it because they know success does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who prepare. It comes to those who prepare. It comes to those who dominate. Your morning is your foundation. If it is weak, you will be weak. If it is strong, you will be unstoppable. Train yourself to wake up with purpose. Train yourself to move with discipline. Train yourself to build momentum before the world even gets started. That is how you separate yourself. That is how you build a life of success. That is how you win. Number 5. Turn failures into lessons and never stop improving. Failure is inevitable. No matter how smart you are, how skilled you become, or how hard you work, there will be moments when things don't go as planned. You will make mistakes. You will experience setbacks. You will face obstacles that seem insurmountable. But what separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck is not the absence of failure. It is how they respond to it. Most people fear failure. They see it as something to be avoided, something that defines them, something that proves they are not good enough. This mindset keeps them weak. It keeps them playing small. It keeps them from ever reaching their true potential. The people who achieve greatness do not fear failure. They expect it. They embrace it. And most importantly, they use it. Every failure contains a lesson, but most people never extract it. They get caught in their emotions, in their disappointment, in their frustration, and they miss the opportunity to grow. They repeat the same mistakes because they never take the time to analyze why they failed in the first place. They run from their failures instead of confronting them. If you want to improve, if you want to reach the highest levels of success, you must train yourself to look at failure differently. It is not a sign of weakness. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is feedback. It is data. It is an opportunity to adjust, to refine, to get better. When you fail, your first reaction will determine everything. Most people react emotionally. They get discouraged. They lose confidence. They start questioning themselves. But that reaction is a choice, and it is the wrong choice. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you are not good enough, you must see it as proof that you are in the process of getting better. It is part of the journey. It is part of the price you must pay for success. Every failure gives you two options: learn from it or let it defeat you. Weak people take failure personally. Strong people take failure professionally. They analyze it. They extract the lesson. They adjust. Then they move forward stronger than before. Improvement comes from reflection. Most people do not take the time to reflect on their failures. They either ignore them or dwell on them, but they do not study them. They do not break them down and learn from them. If you want to improve, you must make failure your teacher. Every time you fail, ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What did this experience teach me? What changes do I need to make so this does not happen again? This process is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. If you do not study your failures, you will repeat them. If you do not learn from your mistakes, you will keep making them. The most successful people are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who extract the most from every failure. The way you talk to yourself after failure is critical. Most people tear themselves down. They tell themselves they are not good enough. They replay their mistakes over and over in their minds. This kind of self-talk is destructive. It keeps you stuck. It makes failure a permanent part of your identity instead of a temporary lesson. You must train yourself to reframe failure. Instead of saying, I failed, say I learned. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say I'm getting better. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say I haven't mastered this yet. Words shape reality. The way you speak to yourself determines whether you grow or whether you stay stuck. Taking responsibility is one of the most important parts of using failure to improve. Most people blame external circumstances. They blame other people. They blame bad luck. They refuse to take ownership. And as a result, they never gain control. If you do not take responsibility for your failures, you give away your power. You make yourself a victim. You make yourself weak. The strongest people take full responsibility, even when things are not entirely their fault. They look for what they could have done better. They look for what they could have controlled. Because when you take responsibility, you put yourself in a position to improve. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for things to change. You start making changes yourself. Failure is painful. There is no way around that. But pain is a tool. It can break you, or it can build you. Weak people let pain destroy their confidence. They shrink after failure. They stop taking risks. They play it safe because they don't want to feel that pain again. But strong people use pain as fuel. They take the frustration, the disappointment, the embarrassment, and they channel it into action. They use it to push harder, to train longer, to study more, to refine their skills. Pain can weaken you, or it can strengthen you. The choice is yours. Resilience is built through failure. If you only succeed, you never develop true strength. You never learn how to push through adversity. You never develop the mental toughness required for real success. Every failure is an opportunity to toughen yourself, to prove to yourself that you can handle setbacks, to condition your mind to keep going, no matter what. The more you fail and keep moving forward, the stronger you become. The more you train yourself to get back up, the harder it becomes for anything to stop you. Most people give up after failure. That is why they never reach their potential. The people who succeed are the ones who refuse to quit. No matter how many times they fall, they get back up. And every time they get back up, they become stronger. If you want to continuously improve, you must seek out challenges. You must put yourself in situations where failure is a possibility. To most people avoid difficulty because they are afraid of failing. But by doing so, they rob themselves of growth. You must be willing to take risks, to step into the unknown, to do things that scare you. The only way to get better is to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You must push yourself beyond your current limits. You must challenge yourself daily, because growth does not happen in comfort. Growth happens in struggle. Consistency is the key to turning failure into progress. One lesson will not change your life. One adjustment will not make you successful. You must commit to constant improvement. Every failure is an opportunity to get better, but only if you apply what you learn. You must develop the discipline to keep improving every single day. Small improvements compound over time. A small adjustment today, another tomorrow, and another the next day. That is how you become unstoppable. Most people stop improving after failure because they do not see immediate results. They expect one lesson to change everything. But success is built over time. It is built through thousands of small lessons, applied consistently, day after day. You are not defined by your failures. You are defined by how you respond to them. Every setback is a test of your mindset, a test of your discipline, a test of your resilience. The weak fail once and stop trying. The strong fail 100 times and keep pushing. That is why they succeed. That is why they rise above. Because they do not let failure defeat them. They use it to build themselves into something stronger. You have a choice. You can let failure break you, or you can let it make you better. You can stay stuck in the past, or you can use failure as a stepping stone toward success. The choice is yours. Number 6, control your mind or be controlled by your emotions. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. If you control it, you can shape your reality, command your actions, and dictate your future. But if you allow your emotions to take over, you will be at the mercy of every impulse, every doubt, every fear that tries to pull you off course. Most people live as prisoners of their emotions. They react instead of respond. They get angry and lash out. They feel fear and retreat. They experience discomfort and run from it. They allow every fleeting emotion to dictate their decisions. And as a result, they sabotage their own success. You must understand that emotions are temporary, but your actions create lasting consequences. The decision you make in a moment of frustration, anxiety, or fear can alter the trajectory of your entire life. That is why emotional discipline is everything. It is not about suppressing emotions. It is about mastering them. It is about acknowledging what you feel without being controlled by it. It is about recognizing the difference between what is real and what is just an emotional reaction trying to distort reality. If you do not train yourself to control your mind, you will forever be a slave to your emotions. You will be reactive instead of proactive. You will be at the mercy of whatever emotion dominates your mind at any given moment. That is weakness. That is chaos. And that is why so many people never reach their potential. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions, which means they operate based on impulse rather than logic. They let their moods decide how hard they work. They let stress determine their effort. They allow self-doubt to dictate whether they keep going or give up. This is the pattern that keeps people stuck. You must be different. You must learn to separate your emotions from your actions. You must commit to doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. That is true strength. That is true power. Every moment presents a choice. Do you give in to emotion, or do you take control? When you feel angry, do you let it control you and act irrationally, or do you take a step back and handle the situation with composure? When you feel anxious, do you allow that fear to dictate your choices, or do you push through despite it? When you feel unmotivated, do you make excuses, or do you act anyway? The answer to these questions determines your future. It determines whether you remain controlled by your emotions or whether you rise above them. You must become the observer of your mind. When emotions arise, do not simply react. Pause. Step outside of the feeling and analyze it. Ask yourself, is this emotion helping me or hurting me? Is this reaction serving my long-term goals, or is it just a temporary impulse? Most emotions are nothing more than fleeting waves passing through your mind. If you learn to recognize them without attaching yourself to them, you gain the power to decide your response. That is where real strength lies. That is how you gain control. Discipline is the key to emotional mastery. If you only take action when you feel like it, you will never be consistent. You will never build the habits that lead to success. You must commit to discipline over feelings. When your emotions try to dictate your behavior, you must override them with discipline. That means showing up even when you do not feel like it. That means pushing forward when every part of you wants to quit. That means sticking to your plan despite whatever emotional resistance arises. If you can do this, you will develop an unstoppable mindset. The strongest people in the world are not those who never feel doubt, fear, or anger. They are the ones who feel those emotions, but refuse to let them control their actions. They do not allow temporary feelings to dictate their long-term success. They acknowledge their emotions, but they do not obey them. That is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. Weak people make decisions based on how they feel in the moment. Strong people make decisions based on logic, principles, and long-term vision. That is the standard you must hold yourself to. Emotional control is not about eliminating emotions. It is about understanding them, managing them, and not allowing them to dictate your actions. When you master this, you gain the ability to stay calm under pressure. You gain the power to keep moving forward, even when things feel difficult. You gain the ability to make intelligent decisions rather than impulsive ones. And most importantly, you gain freedom, the freedom to act on your own terms rather than being a prisoner to fleeting feelings. Your emotions are not the enemy, but your lack of control over them is. If you allow emotions to dominate your life, you will live in a constant state of reactivity, never in control of your destiny. But if you take control of your mind, if you train yourself to remain disciplined regardless of how you feel, there is nothing you cannot achieve. You either control your emotions, or they control you. The choice is yours. Number 7, silence negativity and program yourself for absolute success. Negativity is a silent poison that infects your mind, weakens your ambition, and keeps you trapped in cycles of doubt and fear. If you allow it to take root, it will slowly consume your potential, making you believe in limitations that do not exist. It will convince you that success is out of reach, that your dreams are too far away, and that you are not capable of achieving the life you desire. But here is the truth. Negativity only has power over you if you let it. It thrives when you feed it. The moment you refuse to entertain it, you strip it of its control. Your mind is the command center of your reality. What you think, you become. What you focus on expands. If you constantly dwell on negative thoughts, you will create a life filled with struggle, obstacles, and failure. But if you reprogram your mind for success, if you flood your thoughts with confidence, discipline, and certainty, you will reshape your destiny. Success is not just about what you do, it is about how you think. Every action you take is first born in your mind. Every decision is influenced by the beliefs you hold. If your mind is filled with negativity, your actions will be weak, hesitant, and inconsistent. But when your mind is conditioned for success, every action becomes intentional, every step is taken with conviction, and every challenge is met with unstoppable determination. Silencing negativity is not about pretending it does not exist. It is about taking control over what you allow into your mind. It starts with awareness, becoming conscious of the thoughts you entertain and the voices you listen to. Most people let negative thoughts run freely through their minds without ever questioning them. They accept self-doubt as truth. They believe the fear they feel is reality. They allow the opinions of others to shape their self-worth. But the most successful people do not operate this way. They filter their thoughts. They guard their minds like a fortress, allowing in only what strengthens them and rejecting everything that weakens them. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind. When negativity arises, challenge it. Do not accept it as truth. Ask yourself, does this thought serve me? Does it make me stronger, or does it hold me back? Most negative thoughts are nothing but illusions, false beliefs that have been ingrained in you by society, by past failures, or by fear. But you have the power to reject them. You have the ability to replace them with thoughts that empower you. The process of reprogramming your mind starts with intentional repetition. Whatever you feed your mind consistently becomes your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, you will find ways to prove yourself right. If you keep repeating that success is difficult, your actions will align with that belief, and you will struggle. But if you tell yourself daily that you are capable, that you are unstoppable, that you are destined for greatness, those beliefs will shape your actions, and your actions will shape your success. Your environment plays a crucial role in your mental programming. If you surround yourself with negativity, people who complain, who doubt, who settle for mediocrity, you will absorb their energy. Their limitations will become your limitations. Their doubts will become your doubts. But when you surround yourself with winners, with people who push boundaries, who demand more from life, who refuse to accept failure, their mindset will influence yours. Their belief will reinforce your belief. Their success will fuel your ambition. The content you consume daily programs your mind. Every book you read, every video you watch, every conversation you engage in is either strengthening your success mindset or weakening it. If you are constantly feeding your mind with distractions, negativity, and nonsense, do not be surprised when your results reflect that. But if you deliberately expose yourself to powerful ideas, to knowledge, to motivation, your mind will begin to operate on a higher level. You will think differently, act differently, and ultimately achieve differently. Discipline is the bridge between reprogramming your mind and taking action. It is not enough to think positive. You must act on those thoughts. Your mind must be trained through consistent effort. You must wake up every day and remind yourself of your mission. You must set goals, hold yourself accountable, and push forward no matter what obstacles arise. When negativity tries to creep in, you must shut it down immediately. When doubt whispers in your ear, you must drown it out with conviction. When fear attempts to paralyze you, you must confront it head-on and move forward anyway. The most powerful shift happens when you stop reacting to negativity and start proactively shaping your thoughts. Most people live on autopilot, allowing their emotions to dictate their mindset. They wake up and let their mood determine their effort. If they feel motivated, they take action. If they feel discouraged, they hesitate. But the truly successful understand that emotions are temporary, and discipline must override feelings. They do not wait for motivation, they create it. They do not allow negativity to control them. They control their perspective. They decide every single day to operate at their highest level, regardless of how they feel. You must train yourself to think like a winner. That means eliminating weak language from your vocabulary. That means refusing to dwell on problems, and instead focusing on solutions. That means conditioning yourself to see opportunity where others see obstacles. When failure happens, and it will, you must see it as a lesson, not a defeat. When challenges arise, you must embrace them as growth, not setbacks. This is the mindset that separates those who achieve from those who make excuses. Success is a byproduct of a programmed mind. The moment you decide that negativity has no place in your life, that doubt has no authority over you, that fear has no power to stop you, you will become unstoppable. You will act with confidence. You will push forward relentlessly. You will build habits that lead to victory. And most importantly, you will create a life that reflects the strength of your mindset. Negativity is only as strong as you allow it to be. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. The choice is yours. Program it for absolute success, and nothing will stand in your way. Number 8. Destroy weak habits and replace them with winning actions. Weak habits are the silent killers of success. They don't announce themselves. They don't demand your attention. They simply take root in your life, quietly undermining your progress day by day. These habits, often disguised as small indulgences or harmless comforts, create a reality where you remain stuck, constantly circling the same place without moving forward. The reason you're not achieving the success you desire isn't necessarily because of one big failure, but because of the weak habits you've let dictate your life. Every successful person has one thing in common. They have mastered their habits. Success is not an accident. It's not luck. It's not about a burst of effort at one point in time. It is the result of consistent, disciplined action. Every day they wake up and they execute. But here's the catch. They didn't always have those winning habits. They had to destroy the weak ones first. And you have the power to do the same. Look at your current life. What are your daily actions? What do you do the moment you wake up? What do you do right before bed? What is your routine? Those small actions are what define you. The habits you have now are creating the future you're going to live. If you don't like where you are, it's time to take a serious look at your habits and get to work changing them. The process starts with identifying the weak habits that are holding you back. You have to be honest with yourself. It's easy to ignore them or justify them. It's not a big deal, you might say. I'll start tomorrow. But deep down, you know that these habits are dragging you down. They're the late nights scrolling through social media when you should be planning for tomorrow. They're the extra minutes spent snoozing the alarm instead of getting up with purpose. They're the junk food you consume mindlessly, feeding your body and mind things that don't serve you. They're the excuses you make when you know deep inside that you're capable of more. The problem with weak habits is that they feel good in the moment. They offer immediate gratification, but come with a long-term price. Every time you indulge in something that is not aligned with your goals, you're paying with your future. You're sacrificing your potential for a moment of comfort. But comfort doesn't breed success. It breeds stagnation. You need to make a commitment to yourself right now to eliminate those weak habits. You must make a decision to stop feeding yourself the distractions that are standing between you and the life you want. The only way to destroy weak habits is by replacing them with winning actions. Success is built on the foundation of actions taken day in and day out. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make consistently that compound and turn into monumental results. The first step to replacing weak habits is to understand what winning actions look like. A winning action is something that gets you closer to your goals. It's anything that pushes you forward, challenges you to grow, and brings you closer to your potential. Winning actions are disciplined, focused, and purposeful. They require commitment. You can't have winning actions without sacrifice, and you can't have winning actions without consistency. The next step is replacing your weak habits with these winning actions. Do you spend your day distracted, hopping from task to task, never really focusing on what matters most? Winning actions require deep focus. You must eliminate distractions and put all your energy into one task at a time. This means saying no to the things that don't serve you. It means having the discipline to avoid the easy path, the path of procrastination and avoidance, and instead choosing the path that requires effort and commitment. Your habits don't just affect your work. They affect every area of your life. If you're looking to improve your health, for example, you can't keep reaching for junk food. Instead, replace that weak habit with the habit of eating nutritious food that fuels your body. If you're looking to improve your finances, start by eliminating the habit of mindless spending and replacing it with the habit of saving and investing in your future. If you want to grow as a person, stop settling for the easy path of entertainment and start investing time in learning, growing, and developing your skills. Winning actions are not always easy, but they are always worth it. The hardest part of making a change is the first step. It's hard to break old habits. It's hard to do the hard work when the easy work feels so good. But every time you take a winning action, no matter how small, you are moving closer to your goals. You are building momentum. You are showing yourself that you are serious about your future. And that, my friend, is how success is built, one action at a time. The journey won't be perfect. You will face setbacks. You will encounter days when the weak habits try to creep back in. But that's where the true test of character lies. The key is not in never failing, but in getting back up every time you fall. You must not be discouraged by the times you slip. Recognize them for what they are, opportunities to learn, grow, and refine your habits. Each failure is just another lesson on your path to mastery. When you replace weak habits with winning actions, you begin to see the results. Over time, those results compound. You'll start to notice that your energy levels are higher. Your productivity is stronger. Your confidence is growing. You're taking control of your future. You're no longer letting life happen to you. You're creating the life you want. But the power doesn't lie in the actions themselves. The power lies in your commitment to consistently take those actions. It's not enough to make a change once and then stop. It's about making a change and sticking with it, day in and day out. When you do this, you'll notice that your entire life begins to shift. Success becomes a natural byproduct of the actions you take every day. So take a step today. Look at the weak habits that are holding you back. Start replacing them, one by one, with actions that will move you closer to your dreams. And as you do, you will begin to see that success is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's a matter of daily actions that build your future, step by step, habit by habit. Number 9, operate with urgency and never waste a single moment. Every day, the clock ticks relentlessly, a constant reminder that time waits for no one. We've all heard the saying, time is money, but it's more than just a catchphrase. Time is your most valuable resource, far more precious than anything you can buy. The moment you understand this, everything shifts. You begin to operate with a sense of urgency. Every second, every minute, and every hour becomes a building block in your success. The truth is, when you waste time, you're wasting your potential, your dreams, and your future. Imagine for a moment that you knew exactly how much time you had left. If you could see how many days, hours, and minutes you had before your journey was over, how differently would you act? How would you use that time? Would you spend it on distractions, on procrastination, on things that don't matter? Or would you operate with urgency, seizing each moment with purpose, knowing that every single second counts? This is the reality of the mindset you need to adopt. The clock is ticking. Every moment you delay is a moment you can never get back. This urgency isn't about rushing or panicking. It's about having a deep awareness that time is finite and that the actions you take today determine the outcome of your tomorrow. Operating with urgency means being intentional with your time. It means understanding that the present moment is all you have. It means making decisions and taking actions now, not later. The longer you put something off, the more likely it is that you will never do it. Opportunities slip away when you don't act with urgency. Success doesn't wait for those who are passive, those who hesitate, or those who fail to take immediate action. You see, successful people have mastered the art of urgency. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions to act. They understand that the best time to take action is right now. They don't waste time thinking about what could go wrong or trying to perfect every little detail. They focus on making progress, no matter how small, because they know that in the long run, consistent action compounds. But urgency doesn't mean running around in a frenzy. It doesn't mean burning out by trying to do everything at once. It means prioritizing what matters most and taking deliberate action toward it. Every moment of your day should have a purpose. You should be intentional about where you invest your time, because where your time goes, so does your energy. And where your energy goes, so does your life. Start by examining how you're spending your time. Are you spending hours scrolling through social media, watching mindless TV shows, or indulging in things that don't move you forward? Every minute spent on these activities is a minute you'll never get back. You might tell yourself that these activities help you unwind, but ask yourself this: do they help you move closer to your goals? Do they make you better, stronger, or smarter? The answer is often no. Now think about how you could replace those wasted moments with productive actions. What if instead of spending an hour scrolling through your phone, you spent that hour learning a new skill, working on a project, or taking care of your health? What if instead of procrastinating, you dove right into the task you've been avoiding, breaking it into smaller steps and tackling it with focus and determination? Operating with urgency means recognizing the importance of the present moment. It means that you don't wait for things to fall into place. You don't wait for the stars to align. You take action now because you know that every moment spent waiting is a moment that could have been used to make progress. The key to mastering this mindset is understanding that time is not guaranteed. You could wake up tomorrow and find that things have changed. Opportunities may have passed you by, relationships may have shifted, or circumstances may have evolved, but you can control what you do today. This urgency should drive everything you do. If you've been thinking about starting a business, stop waiting for the right time and start now. If you've been putting off getting in shape, stop procrastinating and start today. If you've been delaying working on your personal development, don't wait for motivation to strike. You create that motivation through action. Every moment you spend working on your goals is a moment you're investing in your future. But urgency isn't just about acting quickly. It's about acting strategically. It's about focusing on the things that matter most and aligning your time with your top priorities. Operating with urgency means that you're not distracted by trivial tasks. You're not spending time on things that don't move you closer to your goals. You're clear on your purpose, and you make every decision with that purpose in mind. Urgency also requires discipline. It's not enough to simply want to operate with urgency. You have to commit to it. You have to develop the discipline to take action when you don't feel like it. You have to push yourself to stay focused when the distractions are loud and tempting. This is where most people fall short. They get distracted by the noise of the world and forget that their success is dependent on their ability to prioritize and take decisive action. To cultivate urgency, start by setting clear goals for yourself. Know exactly what you want to achieve and by when. Break those goals down into smaller tasks and create a timeline for each one. The clearer your plan, the easier it will be to take action. When you have a plan, there's no room for hesitation. You simply follow the steps, one after the other, and take action with purpose and urgency. Next, eliminate the distractions that are keeping you from operating with urgency. This may mean cutting back on social media, reducing the amount of time you spend watching TV, or saying no to things that don't serve your goals. Be ruthless with your time. Guard it fiercely. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back, and the consequences of that are far greater than any temporary satisfaction you might get from procrastination or indulgence. Urgency is also about being present. When you're working, be fully engaged in what you're doing. Don't let your mind wander. Focus on the task at hand. When you're spending time with family or friends, be fully present in the moment. Give them your attention and energy. Life is fleeting, and you don't get to choose how many moments you have, but you do get to decide how you use them. When you operate with urgency, you also develop a sense of confidence. You trust yourself to act decisively and take charge of your life. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to pursue your dreams. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You create that moment by taking action. Now, the more you operate with urgency, the more momentum you build. Every small action adds up, and before long, you've built a life of purpose, progress, and fulfillment. But urgency doesn't mean working non-stop without rest. It means understanding the value of time and using it wisely. Take time to recharge, reflect, and reset. Your body and mind need rest in order to perform at their best. However, even during rest, you should be mindful of how you spend your time. Rest is necessary, but it should never become an excuse for procrastination or complacency. In conclusion, operating with urgency is about taking control of your time and your life. It's about making every moment count. Time is your most valuable asset, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Start taking action now and create the future you desire. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The time to act is now. The clock is ticking, and every second that passes is an opportunity to move closer to your goals. Don't let it slip away. Act with urgency and never waste a single moment. Number 10. Outwork everyone while staying sharp and mentally strong. To outwork everyone is not about doing more for the sake of it. It's not about filling every second of your day with meaningless tasks. It's about maximizing your potential by investing every ounce of energy into meaningful action. Every action you take, every choice you make, should be done with the intent to push yourself to new heights, to learn, to grow, and to get better. But working hard is only half the battle. If you don't stay sharp, if you let your mind and body dull over time, all that effort can end up going to waste. The true key to success is not only outworking others, but doing so while staying mentally strong and sharp. Your mind is the engine that drives everything else in your life, and without it firing on all cylinders, no amount of hard work can sustain you. So what does it mean to outwork everyone? It's not about beating others to the finish line. It's about beating your previous best. It's about showing up every single day and giving your best, even when no one else is watching. It's about pushing through those moments of discomfort, fatigue, and doubt, knowing that your work today will pay dividends tomorrow. But outworking everyone doesn't mean sacrificing your mental health or burning yourself out in the process. Hard work without a strategic focus will eventually lead to exhaustion, frustration, and stagnation. You need to stay mentally strong, constantly sharpening your mind, protecting your mental space, and fueling yourself with the right mindset. The first step in staying mentally strong is mastering your mindset. Your thoughts dictate how you feel, and how you feel dictates the actions you take. If your thoughts are clouded with negativity, doubt, or fear, your energy will be drained, and your ability to outwork others will be compromised. On the other hand, when you cultivate a mindset of growth, discipline, and focus, you position yourself to achieve far beyond what others might think is possible. To outwork everyone, you need to embrace discomfort. People are often afraid to push beyond their limits because of the discomfort that comes with it. But growth only happens in those moments of discomfort. It's in the moments when you push through your self-imposed barriers, when you embrace the struggle, that you make the greatest strides. Another essential part of outworking everyone is knowing when to rest, recover, and reset. Working non-stop without taking time for yourself is not a badge of honor. It's a recipe for burnout. Your brain needs rest to function at its highest level. Without proper rest, your cognitive functions decline, your decision-making becomes slower, and your focus wavers. Even the most successful people know that rest is part of the process. They understand that in order to perform at their peak, they need to take time to step back, reflect, and recharge. Staying mentally strong also requires you to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful forces that can either propel you forward or hold you back. If you allow your emotions to control you, they will dictate how you show up in the world. But when you learn to master your emotions, you become unstoppable. Instead of reacting to every challenge with frustration, anger, or self-doubt, you develop emotional resilience. This means staying calm in the face of adversity, not letting failures or setbacks derail your progress. Your emotions don't control you. You control your emotions. The way you respond to setbacks, stress, and uncertainty will define your success. If you allow negative emotions to take over, you'll be stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. But if you can stay composed, focused, and determined, you'll keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacles. The process of outworking everyone while staying mentally strong is a journey, not a destination. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the work, and being intentional with how you spend your time and energy. It's about cultivating a mindset of resilience, staying focused on your goals, and refusing to let anything distract you from your purpose. Outworking everyone means being relentless in your pursuit of success, but it also means being strategic. You need to plan your actions, make the most of every moment, and push yourself to your limits while keeping your mind sharp. Success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You will face challenges along the way, but the key is to keep moving forward, to keep outworking your past self, and to stay mentally strong as you do it. To outwork everyone is to outlast the competition, to remain focused even when distractions arise, to put in the hours when others are taking shortcuts, and to keep sharpening your mind so that you can perform at your peak every day. You will face moments of doubt, times when your energy feels drained, but in those moments, remind yourself why you're doing this. Remind yourself of your goals, your purpose, and the life you're building. Outwork everyone, because no one else will have the drive, the determination, and the mental strength to push themselves the way you do. In the end, success doesn't come from doing more for the sake of doing more. It comes from doing more with intention. It's about working hard, staying sharp, and knowing when to push yourself and when to step back. It's about being relentless in your pursuit of greatness, but also being wise enough to know that the mental strength to keep going is just as important as the physical effort you put in. So outwork everyone, but do it with a clear mind and a focused heart. Stay mentally sharp, stay disciplined, and never stop pushing yourself forward. Your hard work, combined with your mental strength, will make you unstoppable.